Welcome. Come find a comfortable seat on your mat, sitting on a folded blanket, a block, a bolster, or even a cushion pulled off of your couch. Let your eyes close or soften down to the floor about 4 to 6 feet in front of you, and bring your attention to your breath. See if you can feel the natural ebb and flow of your particular breathing pattern, whether that's slow or fast, shallow or deep. And of course, just by bringing attention to your breath, the breath automatically starts to shift. And so just watch, taking in information as it arrives, and noticing if just by focusing on the breath, you're able to come more into the center of the body, more into the belly, more into the heart space. Taking some attention and some energy out of the skull where the brain lives, that has to work really, really hard as you maneuver throughout your day, throughout your week, whether it's a stressful time or whether it's a calmer time in your life. Feel where breath moves in the body. Do you know that you're a chest breather, a belly breather? Do you grip in your jaw or in your tongue? Is there tension in between the eyebrows or the forehead that can be allowed to release a little bit? See if you can stay right here with your breath, right in this moment. And then with care, interlace your hands, flip the palms forward, press the heels of your hands forward, and round your back into cat spine. As you inhale, lift up to vertical. Allow your left hand to come to the floor and take a side bend over to the left. In the video, I am mirroring you so you can kind of match your body to mine if that is helpful. You might gaze upwards towards the ceiling as you breathe into the right side body as you take this side bend. If that is strainful for your neck, please look down towards the floor. And then bring your top arm down, square your chest over your left knee, and let your head bow down towards the ground. Continue grounding down your right outer hip into the mat as you breathe. And then roll yourself up to sit, taking a twist with your right hand on your left leg and the left hand behind you. Eyes revolve around toward the back space as you inhale and exhale. And then breathing in, lift the arms straight up overhead. Again, interlace the hands. This time the heels of the hands press up towards the ceiling. And then as you exhale, round the back into cat spine. Next, inhale, lift up to vertical. This time, the right hand comes down to the mat or the floor. The left arm comes up and overhead, taking your side bend over to the right. Maybe the eyes turn up underneath the left arm. Maybe they don't. And then as you exhale, walk the hands over the right leg, taking a diagonal forward bend while still grounding down the left outer hip. Slowly roll yourself up into your twist to the right. The left hand is on the right knee. The right hand is behind you. And then next time you inhale, interlace the hands, press the heels of the hands forward. On your next inhale, lift up into a cow spine, and then exhale, round into a cat spine. The arms will stay around the ears. So as you inhale, the arms go up, the chest lifts, the eyes might lift. And then as you exhale, you round forward, pressing the heels of the hands towards the front space. Keep repeating that with your breath, and then eventually allow the left arm to come down to the left knee, the right hand on the side of the head, and let your neck stretch over to the right. Breathe into the space in between your left ear and your left collarbone, right? You might see my little dog Ellie walking around, so you can enjoy her presence during our practice. And then as you exhale, keep the head bent over towards the right, but allow your nose to start pointing down towards the floor. And you might start to feel a little bit of opening along the back left side of your neck. As you inhale, reach up towards the ceiling. Interlace the hands, press the heels of the hands upwards, and then exhale, cat and cow a few more times. And as you breathe, pay particular attention to how you maneuver from one position to the next. Notice if it's smooth or if there are areas of stickiness. And then next time you inhale, you'll rise up to neutral. We'll take the head over to the left. The right hand comes down to the knee. I am hooking my thumb and my index finger together to form Yana Mudra. That feels very grounding to me. And so that is the hand position I am choosing. You're welcome to do that or keep the fingers spread. And then allow the nose to turn down towards the floor a little bit as the head continues to bend to the left, stretching the back right side of your neck. We hold a lot of tension here, and so it's nice to give that a little bit more space. Next time you inhale, reach both arms straight up towards the ceiling. Gather the hands in front of the chest, Anjali Mudra. And then gently make your way onto hands and knees, perhaps placing a blanket underneath the knees if that extra cushion feels really helpful in creating comfort. And then keeping a neutral spine, rock forward over the wrists a couple of times to start to open the hands and the wrist joint up. The hands are underneath the shoulders, the knees are underneath the hips. And then as you feel ready, tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. And this dog pose might feel a little bit short because you came from hands and knees, and that's fine. Go ahead and reach the right heel towards the floor and start to bend the left knee towards the chest, rocking up onto the toes. See if you can feel the sensations occurring in both legs simultaneously and create a little bit of stillness for that quiet time. Re-extend the left leg, find symmetry. And then round the left heel down, bend the right knee towards the chest, and rock up onto the right toes. So you're stretching the calf of the straight leg and the sole of the foot of the bent leg, right? Allowing time here to let all the different types of tissues release. Find symmetry once more, straightening both legs. And then slowly lower the knees to the floor. Inhale, come into your cow spine, looking up towards the ceiling. Exhale, round the back, let the head relax down towards the floor. Again, inhale, looking up, arching the back. Exhale, rounding the back, looking down in between the thighs. Again, inhale, cow spine. Exhale, cat. Then inhale, come to a neutral spine, shift your weight forward, bend your elbows just a little bit like a mini push-up, and then press up and rock back. Inhale, come forward again, slight bend in the elbows for a slight push-up. Exhale, press through the elbows and shift the hips back. And continue doing this a few more times. You can take it a little bit lower if you would like toward a chaturanga position, always making sure that the shoulders are no lower than the elbows for now. And trying to keep as much of a stable spine as you're able to keep the lower back supported. You can rock back almost to a full child's pose if that feels nice. And then as you inhale this time, come forward onto hands and knees, come into a plank position. Adjust yourself as needed for the shoulders to be over the wrists. And then exhale, back downward facing dog. As you inhale, come forward to plank position. Exhale, lift the hips, downward dog. And so this is a hinging moment at the hip. So as you come forward to plank position, the chest moves forward, the hips become in one line between the shoulders and the ankles. And then as you move back to downward facing dog, the hips pitch upwards towards the ceiling. The knees bending may help allow that to happen a little bit more fluidly. So you're welcome to play with that. Right? The idea here is to create really clean and clear movement. And then exhale, move back to downward facing dog. Step your right foot forward and pause. You may need to bend the knees as you walk the feet forward in this slow step-by-step fashion. And then go ahead, step the left foot forward. And then step the right foot forward, either behind or in between the hands. And then step the left foot forward. So you're in a standing forward bend Uttanasana. Maybe with the knees bent would be helpful so the chest can relax down on the thighs. You can allow the hands to wrap behind the ankles or the calves to let your head bow down. And then bring the hands to the shins, come into a flat back. Exhale, fold all the way back down, bending the knees. And then inhale, come into a flat back again. Maybe the fingertips are on the floor, or maybe you have blocks that can go underneath the hands. And then exhale, fold back down. And then again, inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Maybe the fingertips stay next to the toe tips. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana, straight legs or bent legs. And then go ahead, roll your way up to stand, one section of your spine at a time. Find your way into Tadasana with your hands at the heart center in Anjali Mudra. As you inhale, sweep the arms out and up towards the ceiling. Let the eyes stay level. As you exhale, fold forward, maybe bending the knees, maybe keeping the legs straight, standing forward, bend. Inhale, flat back, Ardha Uttanasana, lengthening the chest forward, and then exhale, fold back down. Inhale, rise up, arms reach up overhead, eyes stay forward. Exhale, mountain pose, arms by the sides. Inhale, lift the arms back up. Exhale, dive forward, arms go out to the side to come down to the floor. Inhale, have flat back, chest moves forward. Exhale, fold into Uttanasana. Inhale, reach the arms out to the side and up to the ceiling. Exhale, mountain pose. Inhale, lift the arms. Now look up if that feels all right on your back. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, flat back. See if the chest can move a little away from the pelvis. And then exhale, step your left foot back, low lunge. Float the fingertips a little bit off the floor, feeling lots of power through your legs. And see if you can keep breathing here. The breath may shallow a little bit, and that's fine. And then bring your right hand to your right outer knee and press your hand and your knee gently into one another. Sense the outer hip engaging. Replace your hands down to the floor and pick your right foot up so that you're in almost a half crow. Then step back, downward facing dog. As you inhale, come forward to plank position. Exhale, lower the knees to the ground. Inhale, cow spine, look up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, bend the elbows, lower the chest and the belly down onto the floor. Inhale, baby cobra, the upper chest lifts up and away from the floor. Exhale, bring the forehead back down. Feel an inhale and find your alignment. Exhale, press up onto hands and knees, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Breathe here. Maybe bending the knees is helpful to relieve tension on the hamstrings. And inhale, look forward in between the hands. Exhale, step the left foot forward into your low lunge, come up onto fingertips. Then float the hands off the floor, bring the left hand to the outer left knee. Give a little bit of pressure between the hand and the knee to engage the outer left hip stabilizers. And then replace the fingertips down. Step your left foot up off the floor and then back to downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Knees straight or bent as you like. Inhale forward to plank position. Exhale, lower the knees. Inhale, cow spine. Exhale, bend the elbows, lower the chest and the belly simultaneously to the floor. As you inhale, baby cobra. And then exhale, lower all the way down. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, press up onto hands and knees. Tuck the toes, downward facing dog. As you exhale, next, step your right foot forward in between your hands. Lengthen your chest forward. And then step your left foot forward to meet your right foot, standing forward bend. Inhale, reach the arms out and up. Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, gather the hands at the heart center, Tadasana. Inhale again, arms go down to the floor, then up to the ceiling. Exhale, dive forward, fingertips to the floor. Inhale, flat back. Bend the knees, slide your right foot back, low lunge, float the fingertips right away. Bring the left hand to the left outer thigh, give it a little bit of pressure, then twist the chest to the left. Extend your left arm up towards the ceiling as the right fingertips find the floor. You're in your twist. Reach your left arm up and over so it creates a straight line all the way through the shoulder, hip, and back foot. And then bring the left fingertips down to the floor and extend the front leg as much as it's able to, Parshvottanasana. The front leg may or may not straighten all the way, and that's fine. You can choose to keep more of a flat back, or if you'd like to fold the head down, that's all right as well. Then shift the weight onto the hands, pick the left foot up, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward to plank position. Exhale, lower down to the belly. You can always come to knees first. Inhale, cobra, small, medium, or large. And then exhale, lower all the way down to the floor. Press up onto hands and knees, tuck the toes, and arrive in downward facing dog. As you inhale, lift the right leg up, down dog split. As you exhale, pull the right forefoot in between the hands. Find your low lunge, floating the fingertips. Right hand to outer right knee, little bit of pressure, and then twist around the spine, extend the right arm up, and place the left hand down on the ground. Reach the top arm towards the floor now and come into Parshvottanasana, straightening the front leg as much as it's able to, or as much as is necessary today. A straight leg doesn't necessarily mean that this is a deeper pose or a better pose. We want to find the stretch that's most useful. And then bend the knee, low lunge, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, forward to plank. Exhale, lower through your vinyasa. Cobra, small, medium, or large. Exhale, lower all the way down. Tuck the toes. Press up and back, downward facing dog. Left leg rises, down dog split. As you exhale, step the left foot forward between the hands. Inhale, and then exhale, step the right foot forward, fold Uttanasana. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold all the way back down. As you inhale, rise up, Urdhva Hastasana, arms reach up overhead, press the palms together. Exhale, mountain pose with the hands at the heart center. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, dive forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Bend the knees generously. Come into your flat back again. And then keeping the knees bent, rise up into Utkatasana. So the arms come up alongside the ears. You can also bring the hands to prayer. We want the hips to be sitting back as the knees bend forward. And then next time you exhale, bring your hands back down to the floor. Lengthen the legs as much as you like, folding forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bend the knees, flat back, preparing for chair. And then exhale, reach the arms up alongside the ears. Breathing here. Feel power down through your feet, especially in the heels. And then exhale, fold back down, lengthening the legs, letting the head relax. As you inhale, let the arms rise up towards the ceiling, press the hands overhead, gather the hands at the heart. Inhale, reach the arms back up to the ceiling. Exhale, dive forward. Inhale, lengthen the spine forward, and then exhale, step the right foot back, low lunge. Lift the left arm up towards the ceiling, take your twist, and then power into the legs and float the bottom hand up off the floor or lighten the fingertips. And then come into a high lunge, sweeping the left and the right arm up towards the ceiling. You might straighten and bend the front leg just to help find balance a little bit here. Make sure that the left knee is pointing straight forward. It's not wavering in or out. And that the back leg has a lot of engagement to give you some enhanced stability. See if you can feel conscious and embodied in your breath as you move. And then exhale, open out to warrior two. Bring the left hand to the outer left knee. And do the same pressure. So the left hand presses into the left leg presses into the left hand. So you find that outer engagement of your hip. And then come back to warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior, right hand comes up. Exhale, circle the arms down around the front foot and step back, downward facing dog. As you inhale, come forward to plank position. Exhale, lower down to the belly or stay in downward facing dog. Baby cobra, large cobra, and then exhale, lower all the way back down. Press up onto hands and knees as you inhale. Lift up, downward facing dog as you exhale. Walk the feet forward one step at a time. Arrive at the top of the mat in your standing forward bend. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold into Uttanasana. Inhale, chair pose, Utkatasana, bending the knees. Mountain pose. Inhale, lift the arms, Urdhva Hastasana, gazing upwards. Exhale, dive forward, hands to the floor. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, step the left foot back, low lunge. Reach the right arm up towards the ceiling, take your twist, and then play around with floating the bottom arm off the ground. So you really find that strength and stability in your legs. And then find your way to high lunge, sweeping both arms up towards the ceiling. And again, if you'd like to straighten and bend your legs a couple times, feel free. On an exhale, open to warrior two. Bring the right hand to the outer right thigh and give a little bit of pressure between the thigh and the hand so that you feel the outer right hip engaging. Keep that and then realign the right arm parallel to the floor. As you inhale, left hand goes down the back leg, right arm comes up and over, reverse warrior. As you exhale, circle the hands down around the front foot, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale, move through your vinyasa. If you would like to go into upward facing dog, feel free. And we're going to stay in cobra a few breaths here. And so find the small, medium, or large variation that you feel comfortable and safe in. You can always walk your hands out to the side a little bit or forward, and then allow your chin to bow down towards your chest as you inhale, and then exhale, lift your chin up towards the ceiling. And I know that feels like the reverse breathing pattern, but give it a shot. So you inhale, bow the chin down. Exhale, reach the chin up. And if you need to lower your back bend at any time, right, please take care of your back. Once you feel like you've done enough of those, lower your face back down towards the floor, feel the low belly engage, and then press up onto hands and knees, tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Walk the feet forward to the top of the mat, standing forward bend, Uttanasana. As you inhale, bend your knees, Utkatasana, chair pose, and then round your tailbone under, come into a cat spine for a moment, right? Know that that's one extreme. Inhale, cow spines, really arch your back, and then find the space in between that's a neutral spine, so neither cat nor cow. Bring the hands to the center of the chest, prayer pose, maybe set the hips a little bit lower, and then twist to the right. You can take the left arm extended outside the knee. You can also bend the hands, bend the elbows into Anjali Mudra and take a slightly deeper twist. See if you can keep the spine long so that you're revolving the torso around an axis that is straight as opposed to curved. Maybe the eyes go up to the ceiling. And then exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees. Inhale, Utkatasana. Once more, go through cat spine, tucking the tailbone under a little bit. See what that feels like. Inhale, arch the spine, cow spine. Notice what that feels like. Find neutral, right? The space in between. Inhale, hands to prayer, and then twist to the left. So you can go with a straight arm on the outside of the left knee, or you can have both elbows bent, bringing the hands together into Anjali Mudra at the center of the chest and twisting from there. See if you can feel the tailbone reaching in opposition to the crown of the head. And then exhale, fold forward over the legs. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Step the feet back to downward facing dog and arrive in Adho Mukha Svanasana. As you inhale, press the right heel down, bend the left knee, a slow foot pedal, and then switch sides. Extend up onto the balls of the feet for both legs, and then sink the heels down towards the floor with straight or bent knees. Inhale, reach the right leg up, down dog split. As you exhale, pull the right foot forward in between your hands. Inhale, come up high lunge, reaching the arms above the head. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. Right arm comes up and over. Exhale, straighten the front leg. And then bring the left hand to the left hip. Right hand comes down into triangle pose, either hand on the shin. You can also lower the hand to a block on the outside of your leg or to the floor. The hand on the hip is to help glide the hips over the front leg. And then feel free to extend the arm up into Trikonasana. The arms are on one line, like warrior two, but now perpendicular to the floor. As you inhale, come into a low lunge. Reach the right arm up and over the ear as you twist the chest towards the front leg. And then keep the top arm as it is. Look down towards the floor. Hop your back foot forward a couple of inches and turn onto the outer edge of the foot. Step your right foot about halfway down the mat and then push the hips up towards the ceiling, taking a side bend. Lower the hips a smidge, engage the left arm strongly, and then perhaps step your right foot into side plank. You can bring the foot behind if you would like a little extra stability, or you can stack the feet as seen here. Then rotate carefully back to plank position and lift the hips to downward facing dog. Take a couple breaths if you'd like. You can lift the heels up and down. You can move through vinyasa. And then lift the left leg up, down dog split. Exhale, step the left foot forward in between the hands. High lunge, reaching the arms up alongside the ears. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. The left arm comes up and over, taking a side bend. And then right hand to the right hip. Left hand slides down towards the shin, maybe towards the floor. Just be careful that you're not right on the kneecap. The kneecap doesn't love to be pressed back into the knee joint where your femur and your tibia align, right? And then extend the top arm up towards the ceiling. As you inhale, come into a low lunge. Then lift your left arm up overhead as you twist your chest towards your front leg. Maybe hop the back foot forward an inch or so. Walk your left foot back to about the center of your mat. Push your hips up as you side bend. And then lower the hips a little bit as you engage the right arm down into the floor. Step your left foot right on top of your right foot or behind it for side plank. Keep the left arm reaching overhead. Carefully turn back into plank and then lift the hips, downward facing dog. As you inhale, lower the knees, widen them as wide as your sticky mat, child's pose. Big toes together, arms forward, head relaxing down onto the floor, maybe a block if you have one. And then come onto hands and knees. Move through cat-cow a couple of times, inhaling as you look up, exhaling as you look down. And then you'll come to find a seat either on your shins. You can also sit cross-legged on a block, a blanket, a cushion. Have your hands resting on your thighs. Then start to lift the rib cage up away from your pelvis. Bow your head down, allowing the chin to approximate towards your chest or even on your chest for Jalandhara Bandha. We're going to stay here for a couple of breaths. And as you stay here, you can imagine the ribs almost like a slinky being pulled up away from the pelvis. So it's not about popping the ribs forward to lift the chest. It's about taking the front, the side, and the back of the rib cage up as a whole unit, and then allowing the neck to bend to rest the chin towards the chest. The eyes closed here can be helpful just to keep focus on the throat lock. And then next time you inhale, lift the head, allow the eyes to close or soften towards the floor. Let the palms turn up in your lap and take a moment to breathe. Next time you inhale, let the eyes open. Reach the arms out to the side, making a T shape. And then as you exhale, wrap the right arm underneath the left arm and come into eagle arms, Garudasana. You can also wrap the arms around, reaching the fingertips towards the shoulder blades, almost like you were giving yourself a hug. You can double wind the arms or single wind the arms. Right, wherever you find yourself, we're just going to see if you can isolate the arms gliding up and down a little bit without cat or cow. So the spine stays stable. And you're just seeing what the range is of the shoulder blades. As you lift the arms up, the shoulder blades widen and rotate to glide and help the humerus or your arm bone lift. And as the arms come down, the shoulder blades come back more toward a neutral position. And so do that a couple of times. Then find neutral. Take a couple of breaths. And then as you inhale, unwind the arms, reach them out to the side. Exhale, this time the left arm goes underneath the right arm, eagle arms, or hugging the arms around the torso. Lifting again the arms up and down, seeing what that feels like in the space between the shoulder blade and the spine and your upper back, especially if you feel a lot of kind of sticky spots or maybe even some pain. You would want to reduce the movement a little bit, right? We're going for something that feels smooth and maybe a little bit stretchy, but the stretch should maintain in a mild to moderate intensity, nothing too extreme. And then find center, taking a few breaths right in that space before you unwind the arms out to the sides. All right, start to make your way down onto your back. You can cross your ankles behind you and sit back behind your feet or swing your legs around to one side. As you lie down onto your back, take a moment to place your pelvis in such a way that it's not tucked or tilted. So you're in that neutral space. right? Do what you need to do. And then bend your right leg up into tabletop. So knee over the hip, shin approximately parallel to the floor. Bring your right hand to your right thigh and press the two into one another. Notice if, as you do that, where you feel tension being generated. Hopefully it's in kind of the inner groin of your right thigh. If you'd like to extend the left leg down onto the floor, go ahead and do so. But make sure that that left leg, as it reaches down, does not turn out at all. It stays with the toes pointing up towards the ceiling and the thigh is pressing to the floor. And then go ahead, switch sides. So left leg comes up into tabletop, left hand to left knee. The two press into each other to help engage the psoas, right? The muscle that is the primary hip flexor. And then perhaps extending the right leg down on the floor, flexing the toes and pressing the right thigh and heel down into the ground as your left psoas continues to work. And then bring both feet back onto the ground. Extend your left leg long, bring your right leg back up into that tabletop position, and then perhaps extend your right foot up towards the ceiling, straightening the right leg as much as you're able. Release the arms out to the sides in a T shape so that you are holding your leg up with the leg muscles. And then play with rotating that leg. So as you inhale, rotate the leg out to the side a little bit. Exhale, come back to neutral. And just notice the differences there. And then switch sides. So left leg comes up into tabletop, right leg reaches down onto the floor. Extend the left leg up, flexing the foot, and then rotating the toes out to the side. And really it's rotating from the hip, not just from the foot, and then coming back to center. Right, so we have hamstrings that stretch depending on the different rotations of the legs. So we're kind of playing around with that here, while also strengthening the thigh and the hip flexor muscles. Step the feet to the floor. Bring the arms down besides the body. And then lift the hips up into a bridge where the shoulders, the hips, and the knees are all in one line. So this is more of a Pilates bridge, not as much of a back bend. And then use your hands to check to make sure your glutes are on, your butt muscles are on. So it's not just all in your hamstrings. You might even feel a little bit of ab engagement. And then lower the hips back down. You can repeat that. Or you can come up into a more yoga bridge, a Setu Bandhasana, where the shoulders roll underneath the chest, the hips lift, but the back starts to bend and arch and engage. And what you want to make sure that you're feeling here is not only spinal muscle engagement, but that those glutes continue to turn on because they're the thing that's lifting the pelvis up away from the floor. Or let's say that we hope that they're at least a component of that coordination. Go ahead, lower the hips back down. Take a few breaths with the hands on the lower belly. And then step the feet down away from you, but keep them bent. Let the feet go wide and the knees knock together. So the knees are opened wider than 90 degrees, right? And we're in a version of constructive rest that is aimed at opening a couple of the deep pelvic wall muscles, particularly a muscle called obturator internus. And so you may or may not feel a lot of sensation here. We do want the knees to be able to rest into one another. And then just take a few breaths and notice how this particular arrangement feels. You can also notice, how does the breath feel now in comparison to where you started when we were seated before the movement practice began? And then let's take a very simple twist. So stacking the legs, twisting them over to the left, reaching the right arm out to the side, maybe turning the head also to the right if that feels okay on the neck. You can always keep the eyes straight up to the ceiling. Your left hand could be on top of your right leg as you twist for a little extra grounding. And then come back to center. Twist the legs over to the right, stacking the shins and the thighs. Let your left arm reach out to the side. Maybe turn your head to the left as well. Right hand could come on top of the left thigh if that feels nice. And then come back to center and make your way into Shavasana. So I'm a big fan of having a blanket over my thighs. I'm also a big fan of socks, which I did not have handy during the filming of this video. But warmth is really important in Shavasana. It helps the nervous system relax and not have to feel like it has to generate its own heat, right? If you're cold, the body doesn't relax quite as well. The eyes can close, the arms can come out to the side or rest on the belly. And then as you make your way into this posture, see if you can be efficient in the profound relaxation that Shavasana asks for. Right? This is a posture of letting go. This is a posture of wading into the unknown, which can be challenging. Right? We know that we can control some things, like how warm we are with clothing, the position that we place ourselves in. And then we have to allow ourselves to walk toward what we don't know. Right? How does the body feel today in complete stillness and rest? What might arise as the body integrates the practice, right? You engaged muscles, you engaged coordination patterns. Now what comes up? And is there a way to be willing to present oneself in such a way that you feel stable, safe, and ready and curious? And so we rest. very gently, bring your attention back to your breath. And perhaps allow the eyes to open as you rest in Shavasana. See the space between you and the ceiling with eyes that are soft, eyes that are not seeking information, but receiving information. And see what that feels like, to have an awareness of the depth of space between you and what is overhead. And then next time an inhale arrives, bend the knees, step the feet to the floor. And then as an exhale arrives, roll to one side. And then gently press yourself up to sit. Find a comfortable cross-legged seat with your spine aligned so that your head is over your rib cage, is over your pelvis. Gather the hands at Anjali Mudra. Gently bow the face down towards the fingertips. Act of gratitude for practice. May all beings be free from suffering. Namaste.